Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next Diecast. Today I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/18 scale 1952 Citroen 15CV made by Maisto. So this is a pretty interesting model from Maisto. It is still being sold as of today. You can find it in this nice black with a light gray interior, as well as a black with, it's kind of like a two-tone, so the sides of the car are beige, like the doors and the sides of the hood and everything, and also the wheels are beige. But the rest of it's black and it has a gray interior. But Maisto's actually made this model for quite some time, almost 30 years. So it's been, finding one should not be that hard at all. They made it in other colors over the years, like they made one in white. They also made one, I think, in like a light gray color. They're all over the place. You can find them on eBay, on Amazon, Diecast Model Wholesale, and what have you. So I got this model for around $24 online from Amazon. This is older. This was made actually in 1997. So certain details on this one you won't see on the newer version, which has improved over the years a little bit. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the details and everything on here. So Citroen actually made the Traction Avant, which is what this is actually called. The 15CV is a version of the Traction Avant that has a 6-cylinder engine. They made it pretty much the same from 1934 until 1957 when they discontinued it. So this one's from 1952, as I said earlier. That's the first year that they had like a closed trunk like this. Before, it used to have like an exposed spare tire, but this was the first model year that they actually had that trunk on there. So that's the significance, I guess, of the 1952 model year for this model. So in terms of detail, we'll go ahead and get into the front here. The headlights look pretty good. They do have a peg in the center of each of them, but that's where the light bulb would be on the real car, so it's not that big of a deal. They're actually nice and sturdy. Actually, no. This one not so much, but it's not going to break off easily unless you pull it like really hard. The grille here looks pretty good for a model of this age. It has a molded in Citroen logo right here and right here. Wish it was a little bit more detailed. It's just kind of like one chrome piece, but again, this model's from the 90s, so detail, wasn't superb during that time. These, I think, are supposed to be some kind of fog lights, but they're just kind of like molded to chrome. This bumper is plastic, speaking of chrome, but it's very sturdy. That won't be coming off anytime soon. Detailing on the wheels, not much to see on there, but they do look pretty good. They have the little kind of like 4 spokes on there. Of course, you do get full suspension on all 4 wheels and nice steering as well. Paint quality on the car, I would say, is good. It's not like a metallic black, it's just kind of like a glossy black paint, but there's no rough areas or anything like that, and overall I'd say it's pretty good in terms of paint quality. Door handles and chrome work throughout the car are done with separate chrome plastic pieces, and they look really nice. Maisto didn't just paint it on with silver, they actually used separate pieces. They look like almost like real door handles too. They did a good job with that. This car only has one little tail light, and Maisto did a good job with replicating that with a nice red plastic lens on there. It's not loose or anything. There's no peg to be seen. This little trunk handle, however, is pretty loose and might fall off sometimes, so just be careful with that. And this 15-cylinder badge, or I'm sorry, the 15 6-cylinder badge back here is just a sticker that wasn't really put on that well. On the current version of this model, I think the whole thing is painted on, but if you buy an older version like I do, you're going to just get like a sticker. Doesn't look that great, but again, it is an older model, so you can't really expect, superb quality. In terms of opening features, this model actually does have all 4 opening doors, and they actually open pretty cool. It's like the reverse opening method in the front there, and that really does look cool, especially from a distance. But yeah, the trunk also does open to reveal this spare tire. It's not a full spare tire, but they do a nice job with like this little leather belt piece here and the detailing on the wheel itself. There is a little bit of a trunk back there. Has a little bit of a texture to it. Not really like, it's not like carpeted or anything, but the plastic on there is rough to kind of simulate carpeting. So we'll look at the engine actually first. This has a lot of opening features, as you can tell. The doors open, both sides of the engine open, and the trunk open, which is cool to see. Not much to really see in the engine there. It's just kind of like this dark green plastic piece. There is some wiring, as you can see back here. It's like white wiring. And then also on this side, there's some more wiring. It's done kind of in like red and white. Not much detail. Looks like there's like a battery or something back there where my finger. I'm trying to get it in there. Yeah, right there. But yeah, not really too much to see in there. It is decent though for a model of this age. And it is cool to see that both sides of this actually open. It's interesting that Citroen didn't change this at all, and it was kind of like a 1930s car made in the 1950s. It's kind of hard to close that side. It kind of snaps shut. Interior detail, I would say, is actually very nice. The seats kind of look and feel like the real like leather that would be on the real car. If like you run your finger on it, you can definitely feel that. The floors kind of have this like rough texture to them. They kind of look like carpeting too, but they're actually just plastic. So that's kind of a nice added feature there. Door panel detailing, not much to really see. It's just kind of the door panels with a couple handles on it for like the window winder and for the door handle itself. They don't open all the way. I wish they did. The doors themselves, but you can't really ask for too much here. The front seats kind of fold a little bit, but not really. They're two separate seats. They have a nice texture, just like the back seat. The dashboard, not much to say. Maisto did a good job with detailing the few buttons that are actually on there, as well as the shifter and the parking brake and whatnot. The steering wheel looks pretty good too. Also not much to see on the steering wheel, but what is there, Maisto did a good job with detailing. The pedals are kind of done in like one mold. I wish they did maybe like separate pieces for the pedals, but at least they look good. Like from here you can't really tell. They're just like three separate pedals. But I think they did a good job with that, especially for the age of this model. We'll close everything up. And yeah, the doors are a bit loose because these are spring-loaded. They aren't like done on dog legs. And as Maisto doors age, they kind of, they don't work as well after a while, which is kind of annoying. Undercarriage, not really too much to see. They do like the exhaust pipes in chrome. There's some engine detail you can see underneath there. I don't actually know if the real engine has that dark green or not. Looks a bit strange, but at least Maisto did do a pretty solid effort with it. Overall, this model just looks fantastic if you put it next to other, 1950s or 1930s cars. If you get their Citroen 2CV, it really looks good with that if you put them side by side. And yeah, overall, this is probably one of Maisto's oldest remaining models in their catalog. Before they had their Jaguar XJ220, which was made since like 1992, but they actually got rid of that a couple years ago. So this one, Maisto, I think, is made since they began making 1/18 scale models around 1990. So that's really cool to see that. But yeah, overall, I would definitely recommend it. All right, as always, be sure to comment and subscribe and like the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.